Okay, so I promised you guys in the last tutorial, the backflip tutorial, that the next tutorial would be on round-off backflipping. And would you look at the time? Looks like it's time for another tutorial. Okay, so like, why round-off backflips? What does that do for us? Well, round-offs help us get tons of more momentum, because what we're doing is we're running forward and then we have to transfer all that momentum straight up. And if you're doing that, then you have so much more time in the air. Such a good feeling. So what I'm going to do today, first of all, is teach you how to transfer the energy, the forward momentum, into going up. And once we do that, we'll get to the backflip part. But the most important part is transferring the energy efficiently. Okay guys, check it out. What you're gonna wanna do first is the round-off, obviously. The round-off is kind of like the instrument to take your momentum from going forward to going up. A round-off it's very similar to a cartwheel, but there's a slight difference. And that is, when you're landing, you're not landing sideways like you are in a cartwheel, but you're landing backwards. So it's like this. You're running, you go forward, you turn, and then you're gonna land backwards like that. And you want your feet close together, by the way, because the closer your feet are together, the more power you're gonna get to go straight up. A lot of people, they don't do necessarily like a clean round off, and that's really how you transfer your energy, is again, through the round off. A lot of people, they kill that energy by the way they're doing their round off. And I'm gonna show you a couple examples of common mistakes that people make, and then I'm gonna show you the most proper way to do it, okay? Bad round-offs. Bad round-off number one, the arched back. Okay, so you see when you do the arched back, you're going like that, which is it just destroys your momentum, because you're putting all your momentum into your back. So if you're using all that momentum in your back by arching it, then there's not gonna be very much momentum for your feet. And also, if you look, when you do that, you don't land very straight up. You land kind of like this, right? And that's a long way to transfer all that energy all the way up. Bad round off number two, the touch your toes. Okay, so can anyone tell me why the touch your toes round off might be bad? Oh, I know why that might be bad. Yeah, Seth, mate, please tell us, why might the touch your toes round off be bad? Oh, well, that's easy. See, well, when you're doing the touch your toes, you're killing your momentum. You get around well, and that's fantastic, but you're starting from this position. And so, in order to bring the backflip around, you have to come from all the way here up. And obviously, just like lifting heavy things, we don't want to use our back. We want to push with our legs and our calves. We want to really get all our power from our feet. But we can't do that when we have to drag our entire upper body up for the backflip. All right, poor round off number three, the spread eagle. Okay, spread eagle. Why is the spread eagle bad? Well, like I was saying earlier, you want your feet to be close together so that you can get that power. If your feet are spread apart, you're distributing all that power through a wide area. You want the power to be concentrated, right? I mean, think of a rocket ship. You want to be a freaking missile when you're doing a round off. You want to shoot up into the sky like nobody's business. If you take a rocket ship, for example, like this one, then you're gonna see all the energy is concentrated into one point. It's coming out of a small area. Rockets, they don't go like this and then shoot out fire in all directions. They shoot it out in pinpointed areas to give it the most thrust. Why do they do that? Well, I don't know. I think the scientists at NASA, they know what they're talking about when it comes to physics. And so I like to follow them, when, the physics professionals, and do the same. I like to make myself like a torpedo or a rocket by putting my feet together and getting all my energy, all my thrust from one concentrated point. Because I swear to you, if you do that, you're gonna go so much higher. And it can be kind of awkward at first, but the more you practice it, the better it's gonna be. Okay, so those are the three biggest mistakes that I've seen people make personally when doing round-off backflips, or just round-off anythings. And so now that we've got those established, and you get those kind of like rough patches out of the way, We're gonna smooth it out, and I'm gonna show you what to do. The little things that people miss a lot. Okay, so let's dissect that step by step. So you go and you run into it, obviously to gain that momentum. But then another thing that's gonna help you a lot is if you just do kind of a little skip before. I don't know why it helps, but it does. And so you're running, and then skip, boom, right? Okay, so you get that skip in there, but at the same time, you also want to put your hands up like this in front of you, like a square. You want to square up with it. After you get good at it and whatnot, you can add your own little flair. For example, me, I like to go like this. I go into it and then I swing one arm around like that. Like this, I'll show you real quick. I like to do that sometimes just because it's fun. But when I'm going for harder tricks like double folds and whatnot, I go into it ready with my arms up. You want your arms to be firm when they hit the ground. You don't want to go all soft on them, because if you do that, again, you're just crushing your momentum. And that is so bad. That's a big no-no. And so make sure to keep your arms stiff and straight. Like that. So you come in, you skip, up, down, step, bam. You want your heels to go over your head. You don't want to do that sideways stuff or that arched back crud that I was talking about. You want to have a straight back. And I brought my brother, Malachi, to help demonstrate. One of the problems I was having is he kept doing the arched back. And in order to overcome that, I did a little training for him. And what I did was this. I would stand right here and he would have to do a round off right in front of me without kicking me. So you want to demonstrate that for us, Kyle, real quick? Okay. So I'm going to be standing right here and he has to go right in front of me. And if he arches or leans, he's going to kick me. So he has to go up. That's super important for transferring your momentum from going forward to going up. Please don't kick me. Just like that, see? Okay, let's do it from this side. Okay, so here's a little different angle for you guys, so you can see it from the side. So now you see that if he had arched his back or knocked on head over heels, then what he would have done was this. He would have hit me like this. And that would suck for me, and it would suck for him, because then I would have to hit him afterwards. And so he has to go up like that, and then throw himself over. Boom. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so once you get there, so far we've covered, do the skip, hands up, square up, come down and bring your arms to the ground, nice and stiff. So what you want to do after here is push off your arms. So the reason you want to push off your arms is because you're going to continue that momentum, and if you don't push off your arms, then you're going to end up doing the toe toucher round off. And remember, the toe toucher round off is not good, because then you have to get all your momentum from your back, and that just sucks. Okay, so there you go. You got the skip, the hands in the air like this. You want to square them up, get them nice and firm. Jump forward, bring them down, hit the ground, and transfer that energy over like that, but not like that. Make sure your feet land close together and you push yourself up so that you're nice and ready to do a backflip. Also, here's the tip. If you jump off your toes, that makes it a lot more powerful. But if you keep your toes nice and firm like this, then it's going to be a lot more like jumping on a trampoline rather than jumping on the ground. So there you have it. Shall we go into the backflip part? All right, let's do it. So I'm going to ask a couple questions of Malachi, because Malachi is actually learning how to do a round-off backflip right now. Is that correct?
Yeah. I actually just kind of like full sending it. So like after you do the round off and then full sending the backflip. I think it's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part?
Yeah.
Just kind of just gutting it out and just going for it?
Yeah.
My advice for when it comes to just gutting it out is honestly just gutting it out. It's the stupidest advice ever. But what Seb's low mate and I and Kevin would do is count down for each other. He said, you got to get this in 10 seconds or else boom, you owe something, or you're this or that. And so that was our biggest way. Countdown from 10, and you have to land it before 10, because the longer you wait, the harder it's gonna get. And then you also got to think, like, honestly, what's the worst that could happen, right? Especially with like the tricks that, like, before you're getting into all the doubles and whatnot, the worst that could happen is like you fall on your neck. Okay, oh no, I fall on your neck. I've fallen on my neck tons of times and I'm all right. See,
I've fallen on my neck too.
yeah, see, he's falling on his neck. And that's honestly, that's how you learn, is just through failure. And then once you do it, you're just gonna feel like a boss, man. It's gonna be awesome. Then you can show all your friends, and you just gotta think of like all the awesomeness that this. Just get it out. Just count to 10, do it before 10. If you can't do it, then just wait until the next day or something, because the longer you wait, just sitting there thinking about it, the more bad things are gonna go through your head, the harder it's gonna be for you to do it. So, just do it. Remember, when you land, you're gonna wanna land like this. You're gonna wanna land kinda like in this range, right? You don't wanna land like this, and then pop off your toes. Once you do that, when you're going into the backflip, you go straight up. You don't go back. A lot of people, they'll do this. They'll go straight back, because that's kind of like what you do, right? In a backflip, you go back. However, you're already getting all that momentum, all that backward momentum once you do the round off. So there's really no need to do that at all. What you need to do is go straight up. So kind of like I was saying in the backflip tutorial, you want to pick a spot in front of you. You go up and just stay like that. So here, I'll do 2 different backflips for you guys. I'm gonna do one where I go straight up and look ahead, and one where I go back. So that way you can kind of see the difference between the two. So when you go back, you don't actually have that much time in the air. So you kind of end up doing a layout if you go that way. But even if you go up first, your layouts are even cleaner. And so I'll do another layout like this, and then I'll just do another backflip. And both of them I'm gonna look straight up so that you could see the difference. My round-off backflips are a little crummy today just because I'm like really tired and I've been using my knees a lot lately, so, but they're still pretty good, so there you go. Okay, so pretty much once you get to that point, you just implement everything that I said in the backflip tutorial. If you haven't seen the backflip tutorial, the link will be in the description below, and it's also going to be at the end of this video. So there's going to be the little title scene, it's going to say Seth made and everything, and then it's going to say on the left hand subscribe, and on the right hand it'll have the video. All you have to do is click that video and it'll take you to the backflip tutorial. So you can either review that, or if you haven't seen it, you could just go over it anyways and just mix the two together, and then bam, you have a round-off backflip tutorial. If you are watching this on a mobile device, so like just a phone or a tablet or something like that, then it might not show up, because I know sometimes with that, from my own experiences and others, that the video won't show up or the link won't work. And so if you're using a mobile device, you can just use the link in the description below, and that'll just take you right to it, and you can watch from there, or you can just look it up, because I've started a playlist of tutorials and you can see it right there. All right guys, go out there and do it. I hope that was useful for you guys. I'm gonna have more tutorials to come. I'm gonna try to put them out every single week. Right now we're starting with more beginner stuff. If you have any requests for future ones, leave it in the comments section below, and I'll get to all those. But like, I'm not gonna go into something crazy right away, like round off double full, because you know we have to work our way up there first. If you have any questions or any tips or anything, any video suggestions while I'm out here in Utah, just let me know and I'll do my best to do it for you guys. Until then, ciao.